And I think clearly in this particular moment, in this psalm, I think we get the best example of the fact that worship should be emotional, but emotion doesn't translate to worship, if I can say it that way. We get it backwards. If we're just focusing on the emotion as if that's worship, you're almost putting the cart before the horse. However, just because we get emotional during a worship service doesn't mean that something bad is happening. And in fact, probably it should bring you to that point. If you start crying, if you want to raise your hands, if you want to do something like that during the course of worship, that's great. If you're singing and you're getting emotional at what is happening, that's not because you're being manipulated. Maybe you are. If you've been to certain concerts and they're manipulating chords, that's what happens. All I'm trying to say is I think there's a lot of emotion through Habakkuk. I mean, I think the best example of this is verse 16, where he says, I hear it and my body trembles. My lips quiver at the sound. Rottenness enters my bones. My legs are trembling beneath me. This is emotional language. Emotional language that is as a direct result of hearing the word of God from God himself given to him. So I think it's important that we understand as the church that no, emotions don't always translate to worship, but worship can translate to being emotional. And I think that's a healthy way to understand it. Because singing worship hymns, singing popular modern Christian songs, or even old hymns of the faith, we don't have to stand there like robots and sing as if we're all stoics because we are afraid of getting emotional. No, but we don't also just have to make a show of ourselves and run down the aisles with our suit coats over our heads like lassos. That's not worship either. It's in the proper order.